Cody, live from Rockin' Riley's in USC Village.
This segment of Trojans Live is brought to you by Rockin' Riley's USC, the best place to be during the game, and we are very appreciative to have the head coach, Clay Helton, join us now. It's tough on a Tuesday because the Trojans have a late practice. Their most physical practice tends to be on a Tuesday, so you're right off the field, and you join us now. And just give us the latest on the quarterback situation. We talked to, how unfortunate it was to see JT go down, especially because it just looked like he was primed for a big season ahead, a great 2 quarters, and now you got to turn to a freshman, something you did last year, so you experienced at it, but a new guy, and how do you prepare him this week?
Well, the bad thing is JT got hurt, and I felt really awful for him for the amount of work that he put into it. But in a very bad situation, an adverse situation, I was really proud of our football team and how they reacted. You walk in at halftime 17-13, and you're going to your freshman quarterback as the number 2, and you find a way to win as a team together, offense, defense, and special teams. That was big. And you got a young quarterback, 30 reps. And he walks out there, he completes 75% of his passes. Hits a deep ball to Tyler Vaughns that sets up a score. So to be able to get some of those jitters out and to be able to watch him execute, and I've always loved to see a quarterback's eyes. They tell the tale. You probably know that being a defensive lineman, is to be able to see it. His eyes were just like, man, I'm ready. I'm excited for this. I'm looking forward to the opportunity. And that's what it was today, too, on the practice field. Him and Matt were out there, and I thought both of them did an unbelievable job today of leading our football team and saying, you're right, it is next man up. Keenan, go get it. Matt's preparing as the number 2, and the guys around him showed extreme confidence around him. So it was a good day. It was a good day. In a tough situation, it was a very good day.
Coach, to stay on offense, one of the question marks kind of coming into this game was your offensive line. New guys, talented guys, obviously, but how were they going to gel and come together? Watching the film, I thought they played good. What did you take away from the first game for the O-line?
Yeah, I got asked that question a bunch about what was going to be the secret of this year, and I thought the most improved group was going to be the offensive line. I told everybody that was, just watching those guys, and we've been waiting for this group to grow up for 3 years, from Austin Jackson, Elijah Very Tucker, Brett Nealon, Andrew Voorhees, Jalen McKenzie, and then add Drew Richmond in there, add a Liam Jimmons, a 4th-year player in there. You look up and you go, gosh, these guys are old, they're big, they're athletic, they've played ball together, and both spring and fall training camp, you're like, man, this is going to be really, really good, and they're leading our team, and they did the other night. And the most proud thing I was is, at the end of the game when they had 3 timeouts, and everybody in the park knows you got to run the ball and 1 first down is going to end it, a good offensive line and a good running back finish the game off.
Do you feel like you saw the potential of this offense? Maybe not quite the finished product because there were sort of a lot of opening day mistakes. But do you feel like, okay, if we can get those things cleaned up, we could be really special?
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen 53 plays in 1 half, and you look up, I blinked my eyes, and it was 300 yards, and it was 17-3, with 12 minutes to go in the second quarter, and it was just rolling, and we had made some mistakes along the way with it that cost us. We missed 2 third downs in that first half that did drives. We had 2 turnovers in the red zone that killed drives, but you saw the potential, and that's what I told the guys. I said, guys, there's so much good on this tape. You're going to see it, and if we correct the mistakes, oh my gosh, I hope your confidence is building because I've been doing it 25 years. I know what it looks like, and those guys that are around it, you could feel the belief they had. You could feel the rhythm that they had in that first half. So it's close. It's really close, and they feel it, and they're working hard to correct those things and get ready for a big game this Saturday.
Coach, we thought we might see a little more rotation at the wide receiver position. What was the reason we didn't get to see more guys out there? Or just guys didn't want to come out? Yeah. The guys were fresh. Guys kept going? Or?
No, you will see. It was going so fast, and the tempo was going fast, and we kind of stayed in the same personnel group a little bit. That there wasn't as many opportunities, but you will see. Any time that you have 83 plays in a game, you're going to want to be able to sub guys in, and you will see.
They're not showing anything, man. Not showing anything.
Yeah. So
Coach is being sneaky with us.
Yeah. So you'll see a bunch of young bucks walk out there this week.
Defensively, my biggest takeaway were the takeaways. It was an issue last year, and it really sort of bailed you out on Saturday a little bit, particularly the one at the end. What stood out to you, positive and negative, defensively?
Well, I thought two things. One was the turnovers.
Yep.
And and we stripped two more out. That one got blown dead,
yep.
and then the knee hit just by a millimeter, blade of grass. But you could see the strip attempts happen. You can see, our secondaries was in position to make plays. We didn't make all of them, but they were where they needed to be. And Isaiah Polomao, I called on the way home about 1:30 in the morning after doing media and everything and driving home. And I was like, man, Zay, that's an unbelievable play that you made. I mean, just to come out of the free safety position and get to a wheel route was incredible. The other thing that I told our defense, I said, I'm going to tell you this, probably the biggest thing that happened is you have 4 turnovers as an offense, and they only get 6 points out of it. 4 sudden changes, 2 of them in the red zone, and they only acquired 6 points. That's what you want from a defense. Put the ball down anywhere, coach. We're going to force the kick, or we're going to get the ball back for you. That was huge. The one thing to correct, and we talked about it today in our team meeting, we worked on it in practice, was just, I thought we tackled great in space out on the skill players, but getting the quarterback down.
Yep.
We had 3 sacks in the game. I felt like
a lot of pressures.
I felt we could have had 10. We were getting there with 4-man rush, and we got really excited when we got there rather than sticking to our fundamentals and sticking with our technique. Hitting with the correct shoulder and the correct foot, and being able to come to balance and run through a tackle. So with that quarterback, we got a little bit too excited with some young guys, but we're going to make that correction. It was neat to see the 4-man rush get there. That was something that we needed improvement from last year, and man, did it ever.
Coach, I thought you did a great job stopping the standard run plays in Ronnie Rivers. I think when you look up and see 206 yards rushing, you don't want to see that. And some of those plays were, reverses or jet sweeps. What are the corrections to those kind of edge rushing plays for your defense?
Yeah, there's some things that you get. We went in the game to stop the running back and put pressure on the quarterback, try to stop the passing game. And we got a couple quarterback runs. I think it was 44 yards worth of quarterback pulled runs that moved some chains. Never got a huge play off of it, but didn't move the chains. But the speed sweep did get us, and setting the edge with the defensive backs to bend it back in the middle is something that we worked on.
I think because a lot of people look at it and they see Christian Rector out there on the island. I'm like, hey, it's not poor Christian Rector. There's people who are supposed to be pouring over the top of that defense.
It should be contained by a defensive back and filled by a linebacker. As you know, the end forces the outside run, the DB contains it, and the linebacker makes the play for -2.
Well, Stanford won't be feeling bad for any injuries this week. They had a rough first game where KJ Costello goes down. He's in concussion protocol. They lose their offensive tackle we talked about earlier in Walker Little. How do you prepare for this one as KJ's in that protocol? You know how that is. You just sort of find out later on in the week. Are they similar types quarterbacks and you just roll with the game plan?
Yeah, after watching them and knowing the confidence that David has in Mills, you could see it right off the bat. You could literally see, okay, we're not changing anything. And had the chance to talk to David over the summer at our meetings, and he said, man, KJ's doing great, but I'm really excited about having Mills there too, and they like the kid a lot. So, and you could see that confidence. They really didn't change any part of the game plan. They still were pitching and catching a lot more than what they have been in the past. They were spreading the ball out, a lot different personnel groupings than they've had in the past. So it's something. I think they've got 2 good quarterbacks, got some skilled players, maybe a little bit down in the offensive line from injuries, and they're helping that offensive line by spreading the ball around.
Coach, you think of Stanford football, you think they're going to line up and they're going to run power, and obviously they made some tweaks last year, I think, with their offense, and they continue to make their tweaks. What do you see from their offense that has changed from going from that typical Stanford power to spreading it out a little more? Well,
they can still get to it, and they did a nice job of running the ball from bunch sets last week against Northwestern, who's a damn good defense. But I think they're really confident in KJ, and you know that going from last year, seeing what he did and walking in with the expectations that he did from this year. And they had a game plan built around the quarterback and around the skilled players. And they were doing a nice job pitching and catching up until KJ got hurt. And then Mills came in and did a nice job. They didn't finish drives necessarily in the second half with them, but they were moving the ball with them.
All right, could be a battle of the backups. We will see later on in the week, but Coach Helton has to go prepare Keaton Slovis as he is likely to get his first USC start on Saturday at the Coliseum against